Main 6 Cuddle Simulator. After a long night out on the town in Ponyville, you fling open the doors and step into Ponyville Castle. You had quickly become accustomed to your new home here over the last several months and had begun to settle in to your new life as the only human in Equestria. Now you have to check in with Princess Twilight Sparkle before you go to bed. You peek your head into the first floor den looking for Twilight. You find her, but there were a whole bunch of other ponies in the room too. You recognize them as Twilight's best friends. Twilight's gaze catches yours, and her ears peek up. Hopping up off of the couch, she greets you. "Hey, there you are." You wave back sheepishly. "Hey Twilight, sorry to barge in. I didn't know you had your friends over. Come in," she invites, closing the door behind you with your magic. "We decided to have an impromptu sleepover. I thought that maybe you were already asleep upstairs." "Oh no, I was out in town enjoying the night," you answered. You weakly lift a hand and grin to the others. "Hey guys." The other simplest boys speak up in a chorus of happy greetings. "Come stay and chat with us a while," Twilight offers. Since you live with Twilight, you are very comfortable around her. You had spent enough time around her friends that you consider them your own friends as well. That being said, you have no desire to impose on the gathering. "Oh no, that's alright. I don't want to interrupt your girls' night in," you demon. "That's ridiculous, darling. You're not interrupting anything," Rarely chimes from across the room, taking a brief respite from feeling her hooves. "Yeah, we want you here," Pinkie Pie chips viciously happening in her leather and blue pajamas. "You're so fun to be around and we don't get to see you enough." You scratch the back of your head. "You ponies sure?" "Of course we are," Twilight declares. She hops back onto the couch, making room for you and patting the space next to her. "Come spend time with us." You spend about an hour in the presence of your pony friends. Despite your hesitation, Rarity crushes your resistance and gives you a meditation facial while you all take part in a number of sleepover party games. The group shares a laugh as you finish reviewing an embarrassing secret during a round of Truth or Dare. "Alright," you mumbled, clearing your throat as you tried to stop blushing. "I'm getting tired, so I might take my leave." "I'm getting a little too tired too," Fluttershy mumbles before yawning. "Why don't you stay here with us?" Twilight asks softly. You stifle along. "Stay with you guys? But my bed's upstairs and I don't have anywhere to sleep." Twilight grins softly. "I always thought all about that. We each have our own sleeping bags, and we can share, so why don't you share with me?" Twilight declares happily. "I have a big fluffy sleeping bag that can fit us both easily." "Alright," you agree quickly. The girls buzz around setting up the sleeping bags on the floor. You follow Twilight to the corner where she uprolls her bag and fluffs up a pillow. Nearby, the den's fireplace casts a faint glow across the room as the last embers of the fire begin to die down. You watch Twilight wiggle into the bag with temptation. "Are you sure about this, Twilight? I can easily just go sleep in my bag." Twilight tilts her head at you and smiles sleepily. "Don't be silly. I'd like your company." Struggling, you place your feet into the bag next to Twilight and wiggle the way inside. Immediately, she presses her fluffy side up against you and purrs happy. "See," she asks, "now we're all comfy." You clear your throat awkwardly as you mull your next move. "Do you, want to get comfier?" Twilight gasps and nods emphatically, grinning from ear to ear. Yes, please." Excited? Blushing, Twilight pushes her lips and gazes bashfully away from you. Well, I'm sorry. I've been reading all about sleepover cuddling techniques, and I'm just happy to have the chance to try them out with some creature special. Rolling over onto your side, you wrap an arm around Twilight Sparkle and place your head onto her barrel. You give her a brief teen squeeze before you move your hand to play with your ample chest hoof. Sounds good to me. Twilight lets out a quick burst of giggles, and she brings her far forehoof up to cover her nozzle. Without speaking a word, she then wraps her other hoof around your shoulders and nuzzles onto the top of your head. She hums happily into your scalp. Greedily, you rub the side of your face against Twilight's incredibly soft fur, slowly wiggling your way up to her neck. You jostle around for a moment and gain a fabulous position, and settle on resting one hand on Twilight's far cutie mark, while the backside of the other greedy strokes through her mane and up her horn. Twilight's tail swishes happily around in the tight confidence of the sleeping bag, brushing against your shins and leaving teasing, almost ticklish sensations on the skin. In response, you move your hand over to grab her far hoof. Immediately, Twilight squeals softly, looking up from your comfortable position resting against her neck. You make eye contact with her. Her face is covered with a thick blush. You raise an eyebrow in a silent question. I like having my hoof held is all, she whispers in a quiet explanation, to avoid disturbing the others now drifting to sleep. Well then, you groan as you shift your body upward to get within nuzzling range of her warm cheek. I guess I'll just have to hold your hoof all night, You run your thumb around the edge of her soft fetlock, using little circular motions in a bid to be as affectionate as possible. Twilight giggles in pure joy for the second time in the last few minutes. All throughout this time, she doesn't have a free hoof to cover her mouth. Please. You press your hoof tightly into Twilight's side from her flank to her withers and nuzzles deeply into her cheek, stealing a hit of her scent as you do so. Intertwining one of her legs between her wheel hooves, you let your eyes close. You give Twilight's hooves one last squeeze before she drifts off, and the new set of goggles that follows does nothing to pull you away from the precipice of sleep. Rainbow Dash! Huh? Rainbow Dash cuts back immediately, clearly peeved. Why do I have to share? Come on, Rainbow Dash, don't the Wonderbolts promise to protect and serve the citizens of Equestria? Twilight frowns. Well, yeah, but... Applejack chuckles. Wiggle her way out of the Rainbow. Rainbow Dash rolls her eyes and scoffs disdainfully. Fine, she turns to you. Just get over here. You walk around the couch towards Rainbow's corner where she was laid out a light blue sleeping bag with what appears to be a stripped rainbow interwar. Fitting, you must. What? She asks, glaring at you. Nothing. Huffing, Rainbow Dash slips inside her sleeping bag, stares daggers at you. Listen up. We can show, but no touching. I'm not into all that fuzzy, warm stuff like Pinkie Pie is. You hold up your hands defensively. Okay, I get it. No touching. Taking great care not to break your promise, you wiggle carefully into the sleeping bag next to Rainbow Dash and you rest your hand on your half of the pillow. Both of your bodies are compressed and crumpled on your respective sides of the bag, with not a single stance of fur on Rainbow's body touching you. You wince as your muscles protect the uncomfortable position. The minutes pass by quickly. Soon the happy whispering from the other boys dies away as they begin to slumber. Rainbow Dash clears her throat. You signed. You feel the smooth cover above your shaft as Rainbow Dash relaxes her body. Her foreleg comes in contact with your shoulder, although just slightly. Taking advantage of the detective, you relax your body as well, which presses your shoulder deeper into Rainbow Dash's coat. You shift your neck sharply as well, which culminates into an additional pop. Rainbow Dash shifts one of her back hooves so that it lays against your ankle. You turn your head to look at Rainbow Dash. Her face is mostly absorbed in the darkness. So, a little bit touching, you whisper with temptation. Wimbledon didn't respond verbally and merely huffs at you. Then, her back hoof begins toying with your foot, gently stroking her lower leg. Surreptitiously, you slip your arm under Wimbledon's foreleg as you use a thumb to gently put the soft leathers of her wing. In response, she wiggles over towards you. Her right tip presses against your left as she gently rests her head on your shoulder, removing your thumb from your side. You take her hoof in your hand and hold it tenderly, carelessly, her forelock affectedly with your fingers. She rotates her hoof and presses it against your palm. After another moment, she leans up and nozzles your cheek. So, a lot of touching, you whispered. Fine, she whispers back even quieter, but don't tell any pony. Smiling more boldly now, you rolled onto your side, scooping up Wimberdash into your arms in the process. You wiggle up in her boldly, ingling your torso against her back. Burying your nose into her mane, you are bombarded with a crisp, clean scent, no doubt an artifact of flying through clouds all day. Wimberdash sniffles her wings gently, and in response, you move your hand up to play with its feathers. Her tail happily swishes in between your legs as you scratch under the fluffy plains. Wimberdash lets out the slightest hum of enjoyment, her eye flickering softly as you lean up to nuzzle her warm cheek. Gently, she presses her midsection back against you, allowing you to tighten the hug. You carefully slide one hand under the junction between her flank and back, near the edge of her cutie marks cloud, and relax your neck. Her form is small and light but firm, truly a flatter's body. As she leans her head back, her mane gently covers your face again, bathing your senses in the smell of morning breezes in a multitude of colors. The raising of her chest slows and deepens, your arm moving a little less frequently with each passing minute. Cuddling a happy, warm party, you fell asleep. Applejack chuckles to hear herself quietly. Hey Twilight, she barks quietly. Take a look at this. Twilight sparkle flash out of her sleeping bag, blinks a few times, and leans up to peer over the couch. Her barely eyes sharpen instantly and analyze the scene from under a disheveled mane. Huh? She says, allowing herself a satisfying grin. I knew Wimberdash liked to cuddle more than she was laying on. Should we wake them up for breakfast? Nah, they look too happy and comfortable. Let's leave them. Maybe we can bring them some pancakes later. You know, breakfast in bed. Applejack chuckles again as she follows Twilight out of the room. That will make her wilder than a Cortland apple in October. Rarity, What was that, darling? Rarity asks, looking up from her powder puff compact meal. Twilight rolled her eyes. You're going to share your bedding with him tonight. Of course, I'm happy to share. You weren't really expecting to share with Rarity. Surprised you reacted in kind. No, really, Twilight. I'll just sleep in my bed upstairs and see you all in the morning. Oh, pish push, Rarity scoffs, tentatively flapping a hoof in your direction. They don't call me generous for nothing, dear. I'll have none of it. A slash flash tinkling your cheeks, you relent. Okay, if you're sure you're alright with it. I am more than alright with it, she declares, hopping in the hoofs and beckoning to you to follow her. I have plenty of space and I'm happy to spend more time with you, darling. You approach Rarity's things and raise an eyebrow as you look at her setup. You bought an inflatable mattress? Really? Do you expect me to sleep on the floor? She complains. Of course I bought a mattress along with a wonderful little example of sleek sheets. Alright, you shrug, pulling up a corner of the covers and sliding under them. Wildy tots to the other side of the mattress and does the same thing as the others settle down into their own arrangements. As you both lie under the covers, an awkward silence ensues. Welty lifts out a huff and wiggles towards you. Come now, Dio. Do you think that I invite you to share my bed and not allow any snuggling? You're glad the silence is over, but you follow your bro as you process her words. Snuggling? As in, yes, darling. Do be careful on the main, though. You have no idea how long it takes me to get into shape. You roll on your side to face Welty, lifting your right arm up. Almost instantly, Welty slides her alabaster from gently under it. As it's shielding herself from the weather, you curl your arm again, pressing your hand against Welty's soft back. Silently happily, she presses her barrel against your chest. Humming softly, she rests her head against your other arm, leaving the tip of your muzzle only a half-inch away from your nose. There, she whispers, being careful not to disturb the others as she wraps her forehoofs around your neck. That's much better. You look onto Welty's soft gaze, famed by lit but impeccable made-up eyes, and couldn't help but smile. Gently, you run your hand lightly down her back, stopping a few inches north of her tail, before running it back up towards her neck. As you do so, you feel her muscles tense up slightly as she pulls herself tighter against you with your forehoofs. That feels wonderful, darling, she replies, nuzzling your nose. Feeling compelled to oblige her, you continue petting her back for several more minutes, smiling as you observed Welty's now closed eyes and happy smile. A change in strategy takes over your thoughts, and carefully you lift your hand off of her back and place it on her cheek. Welty gasped softly at the new contact, and her eyes fluttered open. As you run your hand up her cheeks to her ear, you slowly scratch along the path. As you scratch and pet the side of her pristine veggies, you can't help but notice a bright red blood spread from Welty's muzzle to her cheeks, incompleted by a rumbling pail. Did darling Welty have chokes leaning her head onto your hand? Yes, Welty, you replied. You smiled glowingly at her cute mannerisms. You can pet my mane, she mumbles. I thought I wasn't allowed. Please pet my mane, she begs quietly, biting her lip in anticipation and squeezing you with her forehoofs again. Reaching out with the hand of your resistant arm, you spread your fingers into her bouncy purple mane like a clump and bring them down, separating the strands gently on your next pass. Your other hand moves from her cheek to her mane as well, doing the same. Welty buries her head into the junction between your neck and chest, either to make herself more comfortable or to hide her blush. You can feel the gentle rubbing of her chest as she voices low sounds of pleasure. Slowly, the tightly formed claws of her mane unwind, and the stance thereof begin to gleam down her shoulders, back and barrel. Eventually, Welty pulls back to place her muzzle against your nose again and nuzzles you. Her beautiful, now unresisting and messy, frames her blushing face in affectionate gaze. You simply must come to our sleepovers more often, dear. Chuckling, you bring your free arm down to scratch lightly at Welty's cue remark as her eyes follow closed again for the last time that evening. Applejack. Who? What now? Applejack asks quickly, whipping her hair around of the Weatherlow's heel. Did they find me? Twilight presses her lips together in an expression of annoyance. No, but you are going to be sharing with him tonight. Why AJ specifically? You asked, a little confused as to the rationale behind Twilight's pick. She won the couch in the board game tournament. Twilight's eyes narrowed, and I used the term win loosely. Darn it, Twilight, I won fair and square, Applejack huffs. No, you didn't. The free parking space does nothing, and I'm the only point that reads the instructions? Yeah, get to take the cash. It's a universal house war. A universal war is, by definition, not a house war. I know syllogisms aren't your strong suit, AJ, but come on. Goers, Fluttershy squeaks out from behind, causing you to jump at least 2 feet in the air in surprise. Maybe we should concentrate a little more on getting our friends someplace to sleep and a little less on arguing. Twilight exams forcibly through her nostrils, but seems to recover most of her composure. Anyway, AJ won the couch, and since you're a little larger than us, and it's the biggest space here, I think it's only fair that you two share. I can see the logic in that. Applejack nods, nodding solemnly. She turns her pleasingly green eyes toward you. Come on, partner, hop on the couch. You oblige Applejack and follow her instructions. You rest her hand on the pillow presented there and squeeze your body in towards the cushions to make room for her. No need for that, she hoots. Spread out and relax, lifting one of her back legs against you. She clambers into the couch and pops her body down on top of yours. You let out a tiny grunt in response. She's heavier than she looks, definitely, but you're also rather surprised at how comfortable she is acting around you. Applejack continues to sniff her strong body to find a more comfortable position, wrapping her hooves over your shoulders. She nuzzles onto your neck and lays back hoof in between your legs. There we go. You lay there for a moment and not quite sure what to do. Applejack seems happy enough, at least. Sugar Cube? Applejack's voice vibrates your neck softly. It warms at the contact. Yes? You can hold me, you know. Ain't no need for this to be a one pony show. You curse yourself mentally for your awkward behavior. Of course, sorry. You lay your right hand a few inches above her tail and you lift on her with those and give her a big hug. Applejack's body is wonderfully firm, but her coat is smooth, which makes for an extremely pleasant sensation. Ah, she examines warmly onto your neck, squeezing you back. That's a heck of a lot better. Turning her head to the side, she presses her golden mane onto the underskin of your chin. Hey guys, check it out, a grating voice calls. You can feel Applejack's body tighten as a low groan shimmers in her throat. What is it, darling? You hear Welly whine back. There's no need to be so loud when we're trying to settle down for bed. It's hilarious, Wimbledash snickers. Look, Applejack is cuddling with a human. You feel the muscles in Applejack's tummy tense up. Sensing that she's about to go after Wimbledash, you decide to step in. You cast your eyes up at Wimbledash, who is hovering next to the couch. I think you're jealous. Jealous? I mean, yeah, it'll be nice to sleep on the couch and all, but board games are for eggheads anyway. I don't care that I lost. A tempted throat cooing echoes through the room. I think he means you're jealous of the cuddling, Wimbledash, Fluttershy offers. Wimbledash's face contents onto an arch screech. What? That's ridiculous. Cuddling is lame. That shade of red on your face is almost becoming darling, Royalty mocks. Wimbledash sputters incoherently for a few moments. Just cut your losses. You're not going to win this one, Twilight adds. Whatever, Wimbledash huffs before floating away. Applejack chuckles quietly to herself. Slowly, she rolls over and stumbles to rest on her side, allowing your left hand to slide down on her cueing mark while your right hand rubs her tummy gently. I would say there isn't a pony in Equestria that wouldn't be jealous of this, she ripples softly. Thanks a lot, Sugar Cube. You're welcome. Good night. G-night. Fluttershy! Eep! You look over at Fluttershy. She's holding hoof against her chest as if protecting herself. You feel a pain of empathy for the frail little Pegasus. Oh, come on, Fluttershy. Aren't animals like your thing? Wimbledash responds. You are the natural choice, Twilight agrees. You follow your ball. Hold on. I think characterizing me as an animal. Well, I guess that makes sense. Well, Fluttershy continues, rubbing one of her full hoofs obnoxiously with the other. It's just that I don't sleep next to others very often. The glow around Twilight's horn subsides as she finishes laying out her sleeping bag. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Besides, our friend is very kind, just like you. Twilight turns her head and lowers an eyebrow in a promoting expression. Right? Absolutely. You quite agree. You close the gap with Flasheye, who is still stood on her hinges, and squat down so you are at eye level with her. I had fun playing games with you tonight, Flasheye. Flasheye seems to relax as you lower herself to a level, and your calm tone of voice does wonders as well. I did too. I'm sorry that I'm nervous. You're my best friend. It's just, I was surprised, is all. That's okay. You go. I understand. Twilight spoke to me too. Flasheye nodded. She can't be a little loud. I'm not loud, Twilight barks a little too loudly from the other side of the room. Flasheye cringes slightly. Okay. You roll your eyes. Can I help you set up your sleeping bag? Flasheye shakes her head. Oh no, I set it up hours ago. It's right over here. She rises up of her hinges and leads you to a quiet and secured corner of the room where she sets up a light green sleeping bag, a fluffy pillow covered in the design of veins, and a little white plushie. Aw, I like your stuffed animal. You say, is that Angel? Flashlight seems to hide behind her mane as she contemplates her answer. Yes, I made it myself. I always take it with me when I'm away from home. You nodded. How adorable. I understand Angel Boy must be very important to you. You did a great job on him. Flashlight smiles. Thank you. It's a little embarrassing. She carefully sits down on the sleeping bag. Not at all, you tell her with a gesto. Sometimes you need to cuddle someone you care about to get to sleep. Flashlight looks down at her hooves and rubs them on the fabric of the sleeping bag. Do we have to cuddle tonight since we're sharing a sleeping bag? Only if you want to. Flashlight meets your gaze with her soft blue eyes. The slightest quickles near the temple shows that she is deep in thought. I guess so. Sometimes I cuddle with Harry the Bear, but that's the only time I've been held by any creature as big. We can try it and then stop if you don't like it, you after. I'll try my best to be as gentle as Harry. Flashlight giggles demonly. Alright, you have big horseshoes to fill. Harry gives the best hugs. Tentatively, Flashlight slides into her sleeping bag and holds her angel plush tightly against her chest. You slide in beside her. Okay, what now? She asks. A pop from the smoldering block in the fireplace punctuates her question. You take a moment to think what would be best. Why don't you roll on your side facing away from me? Without saying a word, Flashlight nods and follows the command. Carefully, you shimmy lean over and gently press your chest and tummy against her back. Her coat is extremely soft and you are careful not to disturb the feathers on her fluffy wings as you wrap an arm around her midsection. Resting your left hand on her midsection, you move your right arm and rest it on the pillow above her head. Oh my, this is nice, Flashlight says quietly, giving her angel bunny plush a squeeze. I like this. There's no reason to be nervous. Cuddling with friends is wonderful. You tell her. Are you alright if I cuddle you a little tighter? She nods. Oh yes, please. You move yourself upward about an inch as you use your left arm to leverage yourself tighter against Flashlight and follow the movement up with an affectionate squeeze. It is believable how soft and pillable her body is. She's almost like a real stuffed animal. You can feel her body vibrate as she hums happily. You run the fingers of your right hand through her mane, scratching the scrape behind her ears gently with each pass. Flashlight tail flinks in between your legs once, coming to rest against your calf. She yawns and leans her head back slightly into your playful treatment. Closing your eyes, you drift off to sleep. Sometime later, you open your eyes to a dark room and the smell of Flashlight's mane. Longing, you try to sit up for a moment and find a more comfortable position. Immediately, a force you weren't expecting yanks you back down. Carefully, you crank your necks and shoulders up to find that flashlight is holding your left arm tightly against her chest, where it lies pressed against her fluff. Her plush angel body sits comfortably in the nearby corner, clearly having been placed with great care. Smiling, you lay your head back down and go to sleep again. Pinkie Pie. Instantly, a pink blow slams into your torso, knocking you back into a sitting position on the floor. Blinking quietly, you recover and find that Pinkie Pie has wrapped her hooves tightly around your neck. Yippee! Pinkie Pie cries. Immediately following this, she devours into an attack of giggles and snorts. I was so hoping that Twilight would say my name, and she did. You and I are going to be best bed buddies. Twilight rolls her eyes. Have fun, she says. You can't help but feel that's directed at you more than Pinkie. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to cuddle you so hard, Pinkie Pie shouts joyously. She devours again into giggles and snorts. I'm gonna hug you, and spoon you, and carelessly you, and nozzle you, and snuggle you, and blop you, and... That all sounds great, Pinkie Pie, you interrupted, but can you get off of me so that we can head over to your sleeping bag? Pinkie Pie shakes her head emphatically. Nopey dopey lopey, no can do, you have to carry me. She tightens her grip against your neck. Groaning slightly, you place your one hand under her hide collars and one under her with nose. Carefully and with some degree of effort, you stand up from your sit position and carry Pinkie Pie over her 9 sleeping bag. As you approach, Pinkie Pie hops off of you and uses a hoof to open the end of the sleeping bag for you, taking her hint. You carefully shimmering your way inside. Pinkie Pie then makes her way into the sleeping bag as well, but quickly she does it in such a way that she climbs over you. After you almost choke on her tail and endure a few painful placements on her hoof, she settles in a position on top of you. She presses her nozzle against the tip of your nose, which forces you to look into her sky blue eyes. She hums as you remain lost in her adorable little pony orbs. How about we cuddle first? You didn't offer an answer. After a moment, she grabs and nuzzles your nose quietly. Okay, I got it. She wheels her torso up and sits up your midsection. Roll on your side. You smile a little bit as you oblige her. Neat. Are you thinking what we should spoon first? Yep, Pinkie Pie says. But instead of wiggling into your arms and pressing against your front side like you expect her to do, she flops on the other side of you and quickly wraps all 4 of her hooves around you. She tightens the make-shake knot quickly, which restrains your movement a great deal. Ooh, you puff. Pinkie? Uh-huh, she chimes into your ear. You're gonna be the big spoon? She bawls a raspberry at you. Of course I am, silly. I'm the queen of colors. I can't let some human come in here and just be the big spoon until he's proven himself. I have to prove myself? Uh-huh. A loop of her mane enters your vision. Somehow, it's supporting a list written on paper sanctuary with a balloon water park in the corner. There appears to be a poorly drawn pink pony coloring a stick figure human, surrounded by little hearts. We have to do all these first before you even think of being the big spoon. The stargazer, the color driver, though we mostly color at night, mostly. The pony pillow, the reverse pony pillow, the super hug, the squishy scratcher, the fortress. And then maybe I'll dim you woefully. Don't worry, we'll get through all tonight. I promise. I'll be waking you up for every 40 minutes to switch positions. You exhale forcefully through your nose. Great. Pinkie Pie nuzzles into your neck and slides one of her back legs in between yours. Oh, if you want, we can just stay like this. She presses her pineapple warm, fuzzy torso even tighter against your back. Well, you mutter as she continues to nuzzle onto your back. It feels very nice. Maybe we could cuddle like this for a little while. You slowly close your eyes. Pinkie Pie giggles. It bleats much more softly than before and squeezes you tightly in a reverse hug. Gently, she runs her hoofs up and down between your legs and shoulders and begins rhythmically rubbing her chest floof against you. You feel like you're floating and cuddling with a warm, inflating cloud to boot. That feels so good, Pinkie. Why don't we cuddle more often? Pinkie Pie huffs softly and steps her movements. Gently, she shifts her body into a tight but comfortable fit with yours. That's a good question, Bessie Human Bed Buddy. Quickly, she plants a big, smacking kiss on your cheek and rests your forehead on the back of her neck. Let's work out a cuddling schedule tomorrow. You bring a free hand up to hold one of Pinkie Pie's hooves, and then drift off to sleep. Wait a second, you interrupt Twilight. Where is Starlight? Shouldn't she be here hanging out with you ponies? Twilight rolled her eyes. She's having a sleepover with her friend Trixie. She and I have a bit of a past that makes her uncomfortable, so they're up in Starlight's room. Well, if it's alright with you, I'll think I'll head up and say hi. Might even hang out with them for a while if they have me. Twilight shrugs. Sure thing, if we're asleep when you get back, you can either share my sleeping bag with me or just head to your room. You nod smallly. Thanks. Turning around, you head for the door. Not even a minute later, you chest the stairs and stood forward on the floor that held the castle's corridors. The sound of shouting reaches your ears, which makes you follow your ball. You head off in the direction of Starlight's room. As you approach the door to her quarters, you can make out Twilight's muffled voice. Whatever she is saying, she is clearly rather perturbed. Then another voice is laying on top. This one sounds shrill but surprisingly confident. Laying out a little hum of disapproval, you rap forcefully on the door. The voices stop suddenly. Slowly the door creaks open and Starlight's nozzle sneaks its way outside. Hello? She asks hesitantly before she makes eye contact. When she does, a strange smile spreads across her muzzle as she flings the door open. Hey, she greets loudly. You flinch a little bit. Wow, Glimmer, what's with the welcome, you ask? I'm just glad you're here, she glushes. Her horn lights up as she naps your hand to her magic. Come on inside, she commands, pulling you and kicking the door closed behind you. You immediately make contact with a pure blue unicorn, who is sitting on her hinges in the corner and pouting. You awkwardly lift a hand in greeting. Hi. The other unicorn opens her mouth to respond, but Starlight permits her. Trixie, this is the human I've told you so much about. He's been staying with us here at the castle for a while now, and is a very good friend. In fact, he's so good that I bet he'll be okay with sleeping on the floor. You narrow your eyes. I'm missing some context here, and I won't be commenting further until I get it. Well, Trixie huffs, crossing her front hooves over her chest. I can't sleep on the floor. I have back problems. Starlight scoffs. You do not. Starlight, please, you hush. Why don't you share the bed then? Trixie grumbles to herself for a moment. Because last time we had to sleep in the closed corners, things broke down quietly. Agreed, Starlight concurs. Not an option. Well, good luck to you both. I'll head back downstairs to spend time with Twilight and the others. Oh, no you don't, Trixie cries. Twilight is not going to keep me from coming out on top of this dispute. You need to help us figure this out, Starlight agrees. I'm not letting you out until you do. You crane your head back and audibly groaned at the ceiling. Okay, Starlight can. And don't you dare ask me to sleep on the floor, you exclaim slowly. Okay, new idea. You have magic, why don't you split the bed into 2 smaller ones? Can't. Starlight sniffs casually. Mattresses is enchanted for protection. Isn't that just so like you? Sneers Trixie. Wow, for 2 ponies who are friends, you two really seem to hate each other. Although, how about I stay with you tonight? Starlight seems to consider the possibility. Haven't thought of that. You can be driven line between us in the bed so we don't annoy each other. Okay, but it's not that at all. What I mean, Trixie. Starlight deflects, raising an eyebrow at her friend. Ugh. The blue unicorn groans. Fine. You are immediately picked up by Starlight's magic and haphazardly installed under her bed's covers. You know, you ponies are odd creatures, you comment casually. Yeah, shut your cutie little human mouth, Starlight says as she snakes under the covers of your left. As she does so, Trixie hops onto the back of your right. I'm not into clean or sharing a bed with an alien, so keep your distance, alright? You examine forcefully. Look, I don't even want to be here in the first place, so I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, Trixie, Starlight whines, wrapping her hooves around your arm. Why are you so mean to him? He's sweet. Your heart flutters a little bit. You're too adorable, Starlight, you praise. Lean over to nuzzle the top of your head. I know I am, she crows. She tightens a grip around your neck and shimmers over to rest her cheek on your lower shoulder. You hum happily in response. Wait, you like all of Starlight's mushy color garbage? Trixie asks intrinsically from her right. Of course, she's pretty and soft and your voice trails off as you narrow your eyes and reflect on how strange your opinions on ponies have become since you ended up in Equestria. Trixie can also be soft and pretty, she protested, rolling over onto her chest. I can cuddle too. Trixie, Starlight groans, pushing her off of you with a hoof causing her friend to leap in surprise. Get on your side of him. That's the whole reason he's here, remember? Trixie's paws at your hand with a hoof until you open it and start holding her hoof. She leans up to nuzzle your cheek. Is Trixie pretty too? You roll your eyes. Yes, Trixie, you are a pretty pony too. Good, she signs in relief, collapsing to rest her head on your chest a few inches from her friend. Prettier than Starlight, right? She adds, almost as if an afterthought. Starlight groans and tightens her grip against your arm. You are both pretty in your own special ways. You tell Trixie, running a hand through her silver mane. You scratch behind one of her ears as well, which causes her to shiver behind in delight. I want to scratch ears, you know, Starlight whines. Oh boy, you hum as you move your arm from Starlight's grips and begin to run your fingers around the base of her ear. Trixie moves her body upwards as you do so and presses the top of her muzzle into the bottom of your chin. It's going to be a long night, I can tell. Hold on, you interrupted, craning your neck. You scan the room. Where was Spike, Twilight? Spike's in his room, I think, Twilight responds, placing the hoof to her muzzle. Why do you ask? Do you invite him down here to spend time with every pony? Well, no, I didn't. Twilight snatches up her muzzle. But Spike never spends time with us during our sleepovers. Is that because he doesn't want to, or because you never invited him? Twilight's muzzle scratches up even deeper. Well, that's a good question. Although probably an unfair categorization. Because Twilight's scrunch becomes a grimace. Because, look, Spike knows he's our friend and that we care about him. I promise. You cross your arms. Okay, well, tell you what. I'm going to go and say hello to him before we finish this conversation. Twilight's ears peek up. Okay, she relents. You open the door on your way out. Let him know that he's invited next time, she calls after you, a hint of desperation tingling her voice. A few minutes later, you knock on the door to Spike's bedroom. "Come in," an excited voice calls. Not a moment later, the door flings open to reveal an extremely eager-looking little dragon. His expressions melt when he sees you. "Oh, hey? What's the deal, Spike?" you ask, leaning casually against his door frame. "Well, were you expecting royalty?" He shrugs. "That would have been awesome, but, no, just expecting any pony else. It's not important, though. Come on in." "Thanks, my dude." You step through the room's threshold and close the door behind you. "What you do tonight?" he asked. "Oh, I was out for a while, then I came back and stumbled on the girls having this little sleepover party." Spike's ears feel flattened against his head, but he keeps a cool expression. "Oh, are they here? Really? I haven't noticed. I've just been so engrossed in my evening." "I'm glad you're keeping busy," you tell him as he waddles down over to his bed. "What have you been up to?" "I've been reading some Power Pony comics," he comments as he flops back onto his mattress. "Very neat. I didn't know that new issues had come out recently." Spike sits up and scratches the back of his neck. "Well, they haven't. I'm rereading a few of the old arcs, but I've been meaning to get around to them again, so it's, nice to have the opportunity to catch up." You stand slightly for a few moments as you look forlornly at Spike, your lips pressed in concern. "So you were down there with the girls for a while, right?" Not that I know, I'm just, guessing." You nodded slowly. Spike clears his throat. "Did, they happen to mention me at all?" You took a deep breath in before exhaling. "Spike, it's not your fault." "Huh?" "It's not your fault." Spike crosses his arms across his scowly chest. "What are you on about? Did some pony break something down there?" You take a step forward. "It's not your fault." Spike grimaces and falls flat on his back again. He speaks to the ceiling. Okay, I get it. I can get a little jealous sometimes that I didn't get invited to things, but it's no big deal. I mean, it's a males only sleepover anyway. Males and humans, I guess." You step to the edge of the bed. "It's not your fault." He sits up again, glaring at you. "What's your deal coming in here and just repeating that? Why don't you go back down there and hang out with them? That's what friends do, isn't it?" You sit on the bed next to him. "It's not your fault." Spike points a little purple claw at you. You shut your flat little human mouth, he sputters, tears beginning to well up around the edges of his eyes. "It's not your fault." Spike gently slips into a flit of slops. He covers his eyes with his claws as he lets out a quiet salvo of choking cries. Gently, you place a hand on his head spines. "It's not your fault," you whisper to him. Spike collapses against you. Crying into your shoulder, you wrap your arms around him in a tight hug as he lets his emotions flow out. "That's it, bro. Hug it out," you encourage him. Begin to gently rock side to side. A minute or so later, Spike's crying has stopped as his head lays softly against your upper chest. You give him a few firm pats on the back. "Oh, okay, I'm good, he tells you, his voice gravely. "You sure?" Yeah. He pulls away from you and shoots back on the bed, looking down in shame. For all the fuss you Equestrians make about the magic of friendship, you guys have the same sorts of friendship problems that we have on Earth," you tell him gently. "Really?" he asks, staring to meet your gaze again. You nod it. "You bet." You hop off of the bed. "Come on downstairs with me. I have an idea." Spike seems to streak back at your suggestion. "I don't know if..." You hold up a hand to stop him. "Believe me, buddy, I tripped them hard. If we hurry down, I bet we can get you some apology colors from royalty." Spike leaps off of his bed and skills as he hits the ground. "Really?" "I think so. Worst case, you'll have to settle for Twilight." Spike grimaces. Yuck. Alright, you tell him as you open his door, but pick up another backup just in case. Spike thinks for a moment as he exits in his room and sets up down the hallway. You followed? Okay, you're going to call me crazy, he begins. No such thing as a crazy dragon when it comes to cuddling. Do you think we can make Rainbow Dash happen? You push your lips as you evaluate the situation in your head. Actually, I think so. If there's not a good enough opportunity to snuggle up with Lily, just give Dash the puppy eyes and spin something about how she's never bothered to give you flying lessons since you got your wings. Even she has to fall under that. Nice! Spike launches into the air and gives you a quick bro hug. Thanks so much, man. You patted him on the back. When he lands on the ground again, you offer him a fist pump, which he immediately returns. You bet. I got your back, little dragon.